Puckpedia, the ultimate source for your NHL salary cap information, player contracts, team cap hits, transaction news, and injury news.
The numbers.
All right. Well, we've had a very, very busy time in the NHL with a lot of contracts being signed up, and the class of 2026 UFAs is slowly dwindling down. We'll get into all the signings that have recently happened, but it sounds like the next salary cap spike could be potentially even as high as 104 to 107 now is being reported by Elliot Friedman for next year, which is incredible. And then the following year could be up to 113.5, and that's a lower conservative estimate that they're putting forward. The reason being is because a lot of teams, organizations like Buffalo, like Winnipeg, are struggling to potentially meet up that to that amount of dollar amount, as well as because it is gate revenue driven, 50-50, but also the fact that they sometimes have internal budgets, Evan, and so they may not want to spend to the cap like the Rangers, like the Maple Leafs, like the Oilers, right? So there's a lot of questions happening about what it's going to look like. What this does show you, and where give credit where credit is due, is Gary Bettman has made the league very healthy. Now, there's been a lot gone right. You know, we got out of COVID. Escrow was paid off. There's a new TV deal. ESPN got it in. And I know we talked about it last week. Like, it didn't really bother me, right? Like what people say about the game. I like it, you know, to each his own. But really, you got the deal. Money's coming in. Players are making bank. You look at Kaprizov. You look at some others. And it's good. I think this is good for the game. And it's only going to continue to grow. Now, it's not growing at the level of the NFL, MLB, some of the other sports. But, you know, it's coming along. Any thoughts there?
Get ready, baby, because it's coming. And it's coming. And because you're bringing up those numbers, let's get into, to finish off this piece here, let's get into the numbers of the actual contracts that just came out, right? So we know about that Eichel just signed. We know today Connor signed. That's Kyle Connor. Wallman just a few days ago. Ekholm signed earlier. But let's go back. We haven't had a chance to talk about this. And it's, I mean, how can you not talk about it? I know we're from Western Canada, out in Alberta, where McDavid is. We're not talking about it because of that. We're talking about it because of that contract that he signed. He signed. Yeah. And I like to talk around everyone kind of speculation on this, but I want to get your take, and then I'll finish off a take on this McDavid contract. 2 years, $12.5 million a year. In other words, he didn't take a pay raise. There was no negotiation, and he said, I think it's a fair deal. You go ahead, comment, man.
Fair deal. I mean, I really look at it as, you know, he believes in this team and he put his money where his mouth is. He believes that the team needs to be competitive, so he took the exact same amount. It is definitely a decrease. It was a shock. I was shocked when I saw the number. I think the whole hockey world was shocked. People said, oh, are you kidding me? Is this like a troll account? Like, what is this? Is this a span, a bot? Like, what's going on there? But really what it came down to is the fact that he believes in this team. It allows them to sign Ekholm to long-term for 3 years by $4 million. It allows them to sign Wallman to 7x7, which I had arguments online with strangers about how he's overpaid and stuff. It's like, agree to disagree. He's playing top 4 minutes. You know, he came into a situation, and a full healthy Wallman will be beneficial to the Edmonton Oilers. And if you're looking at the going rate for defensemen, I mean, that's what it is. You know, you look at Luke Hughes, like we talked about last week. So I was very impressed, and I think it's already been said many, many times before. He owes Edmonton nothing if nothing comes of it. He gave him the best chance to win. This is now on Bowman, Jackson, and the Oilers management to build a good team around him to win the cup. Hopefully multiple, but at least one. You get one.
If he gets one, he's going to stick around, and he's going to want to go for multiple if they'll build around him, and it'll be a 7-year deal. And he's going to make his 21 million at that time, or 22. But it's going to be a different game, and they can prepare 3 years in advance around it. What I don't like is the narrative, and I'm so tired of this. The narrative of a bunch of people in the mainstream media, and I'm not going to call out the names but you guys all follow them. They have like up to 1 million followers, and they come up with pure speculation. They've done it with Crosby. They've been doing it with McDavid and the Toronto narrative. Like, there's some people, they're just clickbaiting. You have no clue. You are guessing, and your guesses are not even good. I mean, that's essentially what you're dealing with, right? And so can I just say, I want to give a big applause to Connor McDavid for taking, I think, the biggest hometown discount in history, considering he's the best player. All right,
I agree with you.
Cool.
But like, let's talk about even Jack Eichel with Vegas. I mean, 13.58 million. I think he was looking more comparable to Draisaitl and what he got. It starts next year, but Eichel has a cup. He's still a top 10 player, if not center in the league. Like, you can't discount what he's done. He's going to be playing with Marner this year. It's one of the teams that's being considered as a cup contender. And Vegas did it right. Now, this comes after Alex Pietrangelo indicated that he will not play next year, and that was confirmed both by the NHL and NHLPM along with the Vegas organization. It could be the end for him. I kind of applaud him because I kind of scoffed at him when he opted out for playing for the Four Nations last season for Team Canada, because I was like, come on, like, you're representing your country. I understand now. He was going through a lot. And so clearly he wanted to see if he can get a chance to perform in the playoffs, which they lost, unfortunately, to Edmonton. But he still wanted to be able to, be healthy enough. And if he played in Four Nations, I wouldn't be surprised if he got injured and would have been out more long-term, if not damaged more during that tournament.
I think Eichel does not get his due. He is a way better two-way forward than I put him there with Crosby on his two-way game. The year they won the Cup, they beat Edmonton, and when they beat Edmonton, it's because he was the one shadowing. It was literally like, someone like Esa Tikkanen back in the 80s, shadowing the best centers on the other team and the star players. He was going away from his offense, but yet still produced at a high rate during that year. And let's just face it, McDavid finds ways to get around players that eventually lock him out. But the deal that I was actually, it seemed high, and then I thought about it. It's kind of like the Kaprizov in Minnesota. It's not that bad. Minnesota's a bad place to go, but it is out it's a cold area. It's out and that is Kyle Connor. They seem to get Mark Scheifele, Connor Hellebuck, you name it, Adam Lowry. They keep these players. And that shows a lot. Chevy is a good GM, and I appreciate what he's doing. In my opinion, probably $1 million, $1.5 million. But you know what? If he continues doing what he's doing, give him 2 years and the rest of that contract, because it's in a year end, right? So if he has only 1 year of the beginning of the contract that he's kind of getting a little overpaid, he's going to be doing very well in the last years to give that team a hometown discount. So I think Chevy's building something good, especially when it's harder to get people into Winnipeg over there. They draft. They're one of the best drafting teams. I mean, look what they're doing. It's amazing. So I was very happy with that deal. Why don't we finish with one last thing? Because I know we don't have lots of time, lots of other stuff to cover.
Well, Lost Trucker says thinks Jets struggle to make the playoffs. The only thing I wanted to add to that, if I may quickly, before you get your thoughts.
Whoa, okay. Yeah. I thought she meant in the playoffs. But
struggle to make the playoffs. I don't think so. I think they make it. I think last year, was a peak year. But my only thing is that there's this narrative that people don't want to play in Winnipeg. People want to play if they believe in the culture, if they believe in the organization, and if you bring them up, you draft them, you develop them well, and you give them an opportunity to shine. It goes to show you that, a lot of players may not choose Winnipeg as their first destination, but it's not to say people and players won't play there and sign big time tickets. That's all.
Yeah, no, exactly, right around it. So, hey guys, well, that tonight is By the Numbers. Puckpedia, the ultimate source for your NHL salary cap information, player contracts, team cap hits, transaction news, and injury news.
By the Numbers.